This is the HPT.
Sit right down, put on your poker face, you with the big dogs now. Better bring your best game, talk trash all you want. To me it's all the same, you won't leave with much when you come in second place. And I'm the one with the stack showing 7 to the jack. Gon' cry to your mama cause I'm sending you back. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand. Last man standing with the money in my hand. I'll be the last man standing with the money in my hand.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson, and this week we're here at the Ameristar Casino Hotel in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Where's my co-host, you ask? Well, believe it or not, after his 5th try, Robert Williamson III finally made an HPT final table. So I'm thinking to myself, who's going to co-host with me? I decided to bring in a ringer, the legend himself, Craig Casino, all-time money leader, as well as a 2-time HPT champ. My friend, welcome to the show.
Hi, James. Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
Before we get started, do you have a prediction on tonight's final table? I
think we're just going to have a great night of poker. I think we're going to see our local amateur players do really well, and we have 2 professionals here, Robert III, of course, and Chan Pelton, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun tonight.
So with no further ado, let's go ahead and meet our final 9 players, and most importantly, take a look at the prize pool.
Take a look at the prize pool up top, $42,560. Second place, not too shabby, $26,417. Chip counts look like that. Skyler up top, Judge Leo Booth right behind him. And our guy, Robert Williamson III, third in chips for Robert Williamson III. The last time he had this many chips, Craig, he had a bowl of guacamole in front of him. We wish him the best of luck here at this nationally televised final table as we broadcast from the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg. We're giving away cash, and we're having a whole lot of fun. Blinds are 4,000, 8,000 with a 1,000 chip ante. It's time to play some poker, Craig Casino.
Yes, sir. Let's see what comes out.
Nice to have you in the broadcast booth with us this week.
Appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Pocket 10s there for Clay.
Not a bad hand to look at for the first hand of the tournament.
These players just starting to get to know each other. What's that like when you first sit down at a table, Craig? You're probably a little nervous. You got the lights, you got the cameras.
Yeah, the first time for these guys are obviously going to be a little bit nervous, but once you make one lap on the table, they'll be fine. They'll be into the game at that point.
Robert Williamson, no stranger to final tables. This guy's got all kinds of experience. He's going to make the call with ace-queen. He looks good. So Clay now all in for his tournament life, going up against Robert and the ace-queen.
Robert was ready for that, and he'll be more than happy to call, I'm sure.
Clay told us he has a very blessed life. Everything happens for a reason. He was very happy he made it to this nationally televised HPT final table. Why wouldn't you be happy? We're on TV playing for a whole lot of cash.
Not bad for a weekend's work.
With ace-queen going up against the pocket 10s, we'll see if Robert Williamson can eliminate somebody. Robert makes the call. The flop is Jack, Trey, 2, all hearts.
That helps Robert quite a bit. He's got a lot of outs coming up here.
Robert's always very friendly at the table. He's always smiling, always joking around. He's always got these Texas quotes that he says. He's kind of a knucklehead of sorts, but you know we love him. Turn card now is the 9 of clubs, so the pocket 10s for Clay are still good.
No help for Robert.
Robert's looking for an ace, a queen, or a heart here.
And the river card is the deuce of clubs.
Good hand for Clay. That's kind of what you hope for when you get to the final table short stacked. You're looking for that early double up. You don't want to be the first one leaving the table and your first opportunity on television.
Before the river came out, he said deuce coming.
He did. I heard him. Give this one up,
A little bit of table talk. That's good to see. Everybody's loosening up a little bit. Clay's going to double up through our very own Robert Williamson here on the first hand of the night. So glad everybody joined us tonight here on the HPT.
It's a good group of guys. They look like they're having fun out there, and they'll loosen up more and more as the night progresses.
2-0 with the 10s. Yeah.
The action continues here on the HPT as we broadcast from the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg. James Larson alongside Craig, the Legend Casino. So glad you joined us tonight right here on the HPT. Action is folded around to LB. Looks down at Queen Jack of clubs.
Nice hand. I always like to see Queen Jack suited.
LB's a contract welder. He's from Mississippi, plays mostly cash. Doesn't live too far away. And Really looking forward to playing with Robert Williamson III. Not many people tell me that, Craig. I'm not going to lie to you. He's excited to play with Robbie.
You're going to give Robert a hard time the whole episode, I can tell, and you should.
He's got it coming. Action there to Judge Leo Booth with pocket fours. He's going to make the call.
Judge Leo calls with the fours, which is acceptable. I mean, you're sitting there wanting to flop that set, of course.
Chan makes the call from the small blind. Skyler checks his options. So 4 players going to the flop. And the flop is Queen Jack 6. So a great flop for Elby. Skyler caught a piece of that with the queen. Chan's going to be first. He checks. He caught a 6 there.
Elby's got visions of sugar plums dancing in his head right now with that hand out there. We have 3 different suits also, so he doesn't have to worry about a flush.
Elby bets 55,000. Leo gets out of the way with his pocket fours. Chan's going to fold his
got
hand.
out of the way, yeah.
So now action over to Skyler. 55,000 for him to make this call, and kind of in a tough position here. Small blind, big blind. Catches that queen, and
he is, but that 3 kicker is going to bother him. I know he's thinking about that. You can see it in his face.
Skyler is our chip leader. Skyler lives in Houston. He's a professional gambler.
60, 70, 78.
All right, I'm all in.
An all in and a call, ladies and gentlemen. And Skyler is going to see the bad news here.
That's just a bad break.
Skyler's smiling there, but he knows he's in a whole lot of trouble as Elby flops top 2 pair, queens and jacks. We go to the turn card. It's the 8 of hearts.
No help there.
And that's going to do it as Skyler is drawing dead. Elby's going to win that pot. A double up for him. The river card is the ace of clubs, so that is going to do it. Elby's going to double up through the chip leader and now has 307,000 in chips. We'll be right back as we broadcast from Vicksburg, Mississippi with more of the Heartland Poker Tour right after this. We're back along the mighty Mississippi River right here at the Ameristar Casino in beautiful Vicksburg, Mississippi. Skyler still on top of the chip counts. Judge Leo Booth right behind him. And before play began, we had a chance to speak with David about his strategy at the final table.
I am going to be aggressive, no fear of busting out. If I have a good hand, I'm willing to go for it. I'd like to finish first. I've been 4th, 6th, 5th, 2nd in other events. Never won a big event like this, so I'm just aiming for first.
Blinds are 4,000, 8,000. Our very own Robert Williamson is in seat number 1, so I'm joined in the booth here with multiple HPT casher, champion. You've got quite the resume. Craig Casino.
Well, thank you. David, I like his attitude toward the final table. I'm playing for first or not at all. That's the way it should be.
Up top, over $42,000 in cash as we broadcast right here from the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg.
Chan folds, Skyler folds.
Action over now to the 9 seat of Clay Henry. Again, everybody's smiling. Everybody's getting along. This is a Mississippi thing, right? Everybody's pretty cool down here.
Well, I hope so. I mean, they'll probably be smiling a lot more if they end up in first place at the end of this thing, but we'll see how that goes.
Robert looks down at pocket 7s.
Love having a pocket pair, and I like the fact that Robert raised with the pocket pair. A lot of people just float that and just put in the call and hope to flop the set. But this way, by doing that, if an ace or a king hits the board, he could represent the ace or the king, because when you open up in that position early, the other players are looking for you to have high cards most of the time.
It's folded around now to Judge Leo. He's going to make the call, defend with his 5 tray in the big blind. The judge recently resigned. He's retired, rather, and now he's practicing law. The flop is 7-5-4, couple of diamonds.
Big flop for Robert. He's happy right now. Always good to see that set come in, but the board is a little bit scary.
Robert finally made an HPT final table. I always gave him a hard time. When are you going to make an HPT final table? Well, he finally did. His 5th event, hoping to take this thing down. He was so excited last night when we chatted. Robert bets 16,000. Action over to Leo.
Leo raises. That's a strong move. It's a strong move on his part.
Leo's going to raise to 66,000. Robert loves every second of this. Let me tell you that, Craig.
Well, with Robert knows also, though, with Leo in the big blind, there's a good chance, better chance than usual, that he has a 6 in his hand. He knows he may have an open-ended straight going here. So Robert re-raises, which is the proper play.
He's going to re-raise now to 166,000. That should be enough to get the judge out of the way.
Judge Leo folds.
And the winner of the hand is Robert Williamson III. He rakes in a pot worth over $250,000 chips. We asked Ron, who's the short stack and might have the best beard in poker, how he was going to approach this final table.
I'm the shortest stack that's going to be starting today, and I'll be starting in the big blind as well. So I'm going to have to get some cards and get lucky early on, or it's going to be a short day for me.
I love that beard, Craig. Now, you're no stranger to the HPT final table. What's your advice to Ron?
I just tell Ron to ramp it up. He's going to have to find an opportunity to put those chips in the middle, and if he gets the right hand, he's going to want to do it. This may be the right hand for him right here. Unfortunately, he's in early position, and there's still 7 or 8 players behind him that will most likely somebody will make that call.
So Ron is all in here with his queen jack. Action folded around to the judge. And Judge Leo looks down at ace queen, so probably going to see a call here from him.
That's a crushing hand for Ron to see when those cards come up on the table.
So Leo makes the call, folded around now to the 9 seat of Clay. Clay gets out of the way, as does Robert and Elby. So we're going to flip over the cards, and Ron is going to see the bad news. Right now he is behind. Ace queen going up against queen jack. Ron is at risk for his tournament life here, hoping to double up and keep his tournament hopes alive. Flop is jack, 9 tray, couple of clubs.
Ron's going to be happy to see that. I mean, you don't really expect that all that often when you're sitting there with just 1 card to hit, but he hit it.
And the turn card is the 7 of clubs.
Well, that gives Judge Leo another opportunity here, because a club or an ace is what he's looking for on the river.
Clubs to beat Ron's jack high of clubs. So any club here, any ace, and Judge will take the pot.
So we go to the river card. It's the 6 of clubs,
There it
and
is.
just like that, the Judge Leo's going to win the hand with his flush, and that's going to do it for Ron.
Enjoyed it, gentlemen.
Ron did a great job, very gracious, shaking hands with everybody.
And Ron is going to leave us in 9th place, taking home just over $4,000 in cash. And his beard. Can't forget that.
That's quite a beard, I'll say.
Good luck to y'all. Enjoyed it, gentlemen.
Enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
Good game, sir. That's a very admirable beard.
I like that, Craig.
The beard is getting respect with the player. That's perfect.
That's awesome. So with that, we're down to 8 players with the blinds still at 4,000, 8,000. It's James Larson and Craig Casino. If you're wondering why Craig Casino is in the booth, because my partner in crime, Robert Williamson, is in the 1 seat. Chan looks down at pocket 8s.
Chan is an aggressive player. I've played with him a couple times. He knows the game really well, and you can expect him to play any 2 cards at any time.
Chan is from College Station, Texas. He's going to raise it up to 18,000. Action folded around now to Elby. He picks up a pocket pair, pocket trays.
Elby will probably just call here.
Elby got into this event for just $375. We have not 1, not 2, but 3 players that got into this this main event and made the final table that got in on a satellite for $375. You got to love it when you hear stories like that.
It's the beauty of the Heartland, that's for sure.
Action now on David in the big blind. He's going to defend with his queen 9 of hearts. So 3-way action as we go to the flop.
Nice hand to see a flop with that queen 9 of hearts.
And the flop, all hearts, jack 5 tray, Yahtzee there for David.
Okay, I was talking about visions of sugar plums dancing in someone's head earlier. They're really dancing here. The odds of flopping a flush are 118 to 1 roughly. So when you're sitting there holding 2 to the same suit, you're not going to see that too often.
So the bet is 21,000 by David. Now Elby, who flopped a set, has a decision to make.
Chan makes a disciplined fold right there. With only 1 over card on the board to his 8s.
Action over to Elby, who's got a decision to make here. As he flopped the set, he's going to make the call.
Elby's hoping that board pairs for sure.
Now we go to the turn
it
card,
does.
and just like that, the 5 of clubs comes on the turn.
That's what crushes you in poker, though. I mean, you flop that hand, and then by the turn, you're already losing.
And now David is all in. This will be a snap call here for Elby. He's got a full house, trays full of 5s, and David's going to see the bad news.
And we have pocket 3s from Elby.
Dave is standing up. He's drawing absolutely dead. That's going to do it for him. He's going to be eliminated in 8th place after we see this last card here on the river. Just bad luck there for David as he flops a flush, but his opponent flopped a set.
It is, and you go through such a range of emotions when that happens. You know, you're as happy as you can be with that first 3 cards hit the board, and then that next one shows up. Boom.
The river card is the ace of diamonds, so that's the bad news for David. He's going to be eliminated, going out in 8th place, but he'll go home with just over $5,000. And we'll be right back with more HPT from Vicksburg, Mississippi, right after this.
Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by my special co-host tonight, Craig Casino. My regular co-host is actually still at the final table, Robert Williamson III.
He sure is, James, and he's staying pretty patient. He's looking for his spots, and I'm sure he'll make a move when he needs to.
We're having a lot of fun this week in Mississippi. Let's head back to the table and pick up the action.
It's always fun to take a look at the prize pool. Up top, $42,560. Right now, every player guaranteed 7th place money, almost $7,000. Judge Leo leading the pack. Right behind him, Skyler, Chan, and Elby. And our buddy, Robert Williamson III there. 3rd to last, but never count out Robert Williamson III. He's a good poker player, isn't he, Craig?
He sure is. He's got 1 World Series of Poker bracelet, 2 seconds and a third. That's not easy to do.
Blinds are now up to 5,000 and 10,000. Action is on Elby. Elby's a contract welder, got into this event for $375, has a lot of respect for Robert Williamson III, and he better because he's sitting very close to him there in the 2 seat.
That's for sure.
Chan's going to now raise to $25,000 with his King Jack of clubs.
We have a raise of $45,000 from Chan.
Now action on Robert. Looks down at King 10 of hearts. He's in the big blind, so he's going to defend there.
Not a good situation for Robert unless a few hearts hit that board.
We go to the flop. It's 8-7-5, couple of clubs.
That helps Chan quite a bit.
Yeah, Chan with the club draw there. Robert just on a bluff here. He's reaching for chips. He's going to bet out $30,000.
Against Chan, you've got to keep firing because he's a professional. He'll make a lot of calls, especially now. Got 2 overs to the board with a club flush draw.
Chan does make the call. We go to the turn card now. It's the deuce of diamonds. So Robert, again, just on a bluff here. We'll see if he can keep firing at this pot. And it looks like yeah, I think he will. He's reaching for chips now.
He looks solid. He's very methodical in what he's doing. Chan might believe he's got something here, but we'll see what happens. Chan's not going anywhere, though, with 2 overs and a flush draw.
Robert's 44 years old, obviously the most experience here at this final table. Has to go to Robbie. He's going to bet $60,000. And it looks like Chan's going to make the call. Robert would love to have this hand over right on this street, but it's not going to happen as Chan does make the call.
Yeah, Robert probably would have had to bet something like $120,000 to get Chan to even think about folding, and he probably still wouldn't have.
River card now is the ace of spades, so how much should Robert bet here on the river, Craig?
Well, you got $242,000 in the pot. Well, it doesn't matter, I guess. He checks, and I would have given up there, too. I mean, when somebody calls 2 streets like that on you, and it's Chan, and you know he's capable of playing any of those low cards, sometimes you just have to know when to call it a day.
Flush draw to chase, huh? Nice.
Straight's good.
That is straight, I done beat you in the pot, you know that.
So Chan bets 105,000 chips.
Chan thinks he's bluffing right here. Little does he realize that he's actually got the best hand, and he won't know it till he sees this on TV down the road.
And Robert is going to fold, and Chan is going to pick up a pot.
Show the 9-10.
The 9-10? No 9-10. Better.
Jack 9. Jack 9.
Warmer.
We asked Chan about what it's like to square off against seasoned poker professional Robert Williamson III, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, Robert and I, we played a few hands. At the beginning of day one, we were at the same table. As the tournament went on, he kind of had some chips and went back down, and he was at the other table the whole time, and I knew he was super short, and then we got to the final table, and he had 500K, so I didn't know. I mean, he ran it up one way or the other. Yeah.
Blinds are still 5,000, 10,000 as the action continues here from the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg. James Larson alongside my buddy, Mr. Craig, the Legend Casino.
Yes, sir.
One of these days, you got to tell me why they call you the Legend. We'll get into that later.
Larry folds 10-jack there. I love 10-jack. Most players do. You can make a lot of hands with it, but he doesn't have the chip stack, in all fairness, to be making that play right now.
Chan with his Jack 10 is going to raise to 21,000, and now Skyler, our chip leader, picks up a pocket pair of threes, 2 red threes. He's going to make the call.
Chan does have the chips to make that call, and plus he's 2 spots later on the table than Larry was. Elby's going to get to play cheap here and probably make the call.
Elby in the big blind makes the call,
Just like last night.
and he's going to defend. So it's Chan, Skyler, and Elby as we go to the flop. The flop is 5-5-4, a couple of clubs. Doesn't really hit anyone. Skyler still leads, but Elby actually has a better chance to win the hand right now.
It's a good flop for Elby if he hits a deuce, but he's not going to want to see it be the deuce of clubs, preferably.
Chan's going to bet 31,000 with his Jack 10. Chan's got a little bit of gamble in him, doesn't he,
Yeah,
Craig?
the ever-aggressive Chan, but he's a professional player. He knows that's the name of the game. Aggression is what wins tournaments.
So Skyler makes the call. Action to Elby now. Elby needs a deuce for a straight. He's got the ace in his hand. You think he's going to fold this hand here, Craig?
Yeah, but it'd be a good move to put in a raise right here, I'll tell you, especially against
That's
Chan.
what you would do.
That's
That's
how you have to play Chan.
What would Craig Casino do? Well, he'd put in a raise. Elby's just going to make the call. Down here in Mississippi, it's a friendly game, Craig.
Yeah, I know, but got to do what you got to do sometimes.
So now we go to the turn card.
Skyler has no outs.
10 of spades on the turn.
Turn card is the 10 of spades.
Chan's pretty happy with that card right now, although he does have to be a little concerned that one of the later position players, Elby in the big blind, could have a 5 in his hand, but he's going to bet out to find out.
Chan's in the lead with his 2 pair, 10s and 5s. The bet is 75,000.
Skyler knows the jig is up. He'll be leaving the hand, I'm pretty sure.
Smiles a little bit. And he's going to fold his hand. Now action over to Elby.
Too expensive to chase a gut shot.
As does Elby.
He saved you.
Chan will take down the pot.
Stop it. Hey, I mean, I had a big hand.
I have a bigger hand.
Show me.
Huh?
Show me. Show me for $100 if you beat my hand. I'll give you $100.
All right.
Nice. Oh, you too.
As Chan collects his $100, we will pause for a quick break. More from Vicksburg when we return. We're back at the Ameristar Hotel and Casino right here in beautiful Vicksburg, Mississippi for the HPT final table. Chan Pelton is now your chip leader. Right behind him, Judge Leo Booth and Skyler Thornton. As you look at the stack swing there, Chan Pelton, he's going the right way. You want to be going up in this game, Craig.
Usually helps a little bit in the end.
All right, blinds remain at 5,000 and 10,000. The action will be on Judge Leo.
7 players left.
I've never played poker with a judge before. I'd be a little nervous. These guys, they know how to spot a liar. Let me tell you that.
If I was you, I'd be nervous too. So.
Right. Chan's going to raise to 25,000 with his ace-queen.
It's nice when an aggressive player picks up some big cards because it's not always expected. And Robert's in a bad spot here with ace-jack unless some clubs show up on that board.
So re-raised
Or a
to
jack.
75,000 now by Robert with his ace-jack. And now Chan, he's all in.
Robert knew with that raise that Chan might re-raise all in, and Robert was prepared to go with that hand all the way, mostly because it is Chan.
Just a cooler there for Robert Williamson III. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, and that's what happens. That's what happened right there. Ace-queen going up against ace-jack. We'll see if Robbie can get lucky. Otherwise, he's going to be back in here in the broadcast booth with us. And we go to the flop.
All clubs.
It's ace, 6, deuce, couple of diamonds, 1 club.
One club in the window looked promising, but wasn't to be.
Jack of hearts.
Queen of clubs first of all.
Robert does have a few outs here. He needs
Queen
to
of clubs
catch
first.
a jack.
I'm trying to make it semi-exciting.
Right.
Would Jack of hearts make it semi-exciting too?
Not so much.
I was thinking more the 3 of hearts.
Or
The 3
king.
of hearts.
Yeah.
How about king of clubs?
That's what I was
that's
thinking.
That's a good match. That's a good match.
How about the
King of
queen? How about the
clubs.
queen of diamonds?
Gives me some push cards too. King of
Queen of
clubs.
diamonds?
That's probably my best turn card.
Yes.
Jack. Jack.
I don't like to be greedy.
All right, we go to the turn card, and it's an 8 of
Oh,
clubs.
he's
so
got chance. He's got more chance now.
a little more.
27%.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's got the club draw now. Needs a club or a jack. Otherwise, he's going to be eliminated going out in 7th place.
I love a player, though, that can keep smiling no matter what. You know, the things work for him, go against him. They're smiling one way or the other.
The river card is the 8 of spades, and that is going to do it for Robert Williamson III. He's going to exit in 7th place and take home $6,604.
The young players at home, a lot of them can learn something about the table demeanor from the guys at this table. Everybody's being a real gentleman, and that's the way it should be.
You had to mention BPPI.
Yeah.
I know it was high. I was thinking the same thing. You had to mention it. See you, boys. Good luck.
All right. Good game, Robert.
Yeah, have a good game.
All right, Craig, while Robert's making his way up here to the broadcast booth, I want to ask you, before he gets here, how do you think he played?
Well, I'd really like to give Robert a little dig, but I really can't. I thought he played really well. He had showed aggression when he needed to, and that didn't work out too well for him. But the hand where he ran into ace-jack and his opponent had ace-queen, well, once the ace hit the board, that was pretty much all she wrote for Robert.
Well, he's putting on his headset right now. He's going to join us here in the booth. So with no further ado, let's head back to the action.
We're back in action here at Vicksburg, 6-handed on the table and 3-handed in the booth.
Well, unfortunately, having to join y'all here right now, James, but I'll tell you what, I don't mind my play at all. Chan played great. I, got a little unlucky.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't going to last long, Craig. I just knew it.
Sometimes the cards just dictate what's going to happen.
Some days chicken, some days feather. I heard a wise man say that once. Today it's your feather, but congratulations on finally making your first HPT final table. It's folded around to Judge Leo. He is going to make the call in the small blind with ace-9, and Chan's going to make the call in the big blind. No, he's going to raise it up because it's Chan after all. He's going to raise it up with his queen-10.
And don't forget, he also has position on the judge.
Chan with his brand new haircut there. He's got a brand new shirt, smiling, hopefully smiling all the way to the bank. The flop is ace-7 tray. It's a rainbow.
Top pair for Leo. That's not going to slow Chan down at all.
He continues the ruse, though. Leo's been playing this hand a little bit slow. So
turn card is the 5 of diamonds. Judge is going to check over to Chan. Now both players checking.
I was really praying for no 4 or 5. I wanted no 4 or 5 on the turn.
You're like Skylar, can't depend on you for a damn thing.
River comes king of diamonds. Judges first, bets out.
King of diamonds comes on the river. Leo's going to bet $25,000.
Well, Chan's actually has some showdown value here with queen high, but I don't think he's going to make this pay off.
He's got a winner.
He always has the ace. He always has the 1.
You saw it, didn't you?
I did.
I'm going to show you 2 this time.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think you want to show Chan too many cards. He's a good enough player without giving him information, Judge.
Judge Leo is holding court here in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and when we come back, we'll have more exciting final table action right after this.
Always has the 1.
From the banks of the Mississippi, we're at the Ameristar Hotel and Casino in Vicksburg with the final table of the HPT. Chan Pelton up top, Judge Leo right behind him, Skylar Thornton in third, Robert Williamson III. Your name is on there, but you're not playing poker anymore.
I think one of those stacks is sitting in front of Chan. Used to be in my stack.
Right. So, guys, what's it like to make an HPT final table? Craig, it's got to be the best feeling in the world to play under the lights and the cameras. And
it really is. It's quite exciting to have it happen, and you just want to make the most of the experience when you get it.
Pocket 10s now for Clay. It's $10,000 for him to make this call. You expect a raise here, gentlemen?
Absolutely. Got to open the pot with a raise with 2 10s.
Kick there from booty. That's what we're supposed to do.
12-round penalty?
Yeah, he was short stacked. He had to go all in there.
Good luck, all in.
Clay all in, action on Albie. Boy, Albie looks serious. He's got the glasses down on his nose. He's going to get out of the way.
Well, I suspect we're going to see a call here. Larry's got ace-queen suited.
Now, Larry folded an ace-jack earlier in the broadcast, but he's not about to lay down an ace-queen in this spot.
Chan gets out of the way, as does Skyler.
Well, this reminds me of a hand earlier. Oh, wait, I don't think I liked the way that hand came out earlier.
I don't think you liked it at all, my friend.
He's suited this time, though.
These are the flips you have to win. Tens are slightly ahead of the ace-queen.
Yeah, I always say to win a tournament, you have to win all the coin flips. That's the only way you can really win it. You have to win on both sides of this equation.
Unless your stack is so large and you're losing flips against smaller stacks, you can withstand that. That's why it's nice to have those chips.
Flop is king 6-4, couple of diamonds, so pretty good flop there for Larry. Clay's still in the lead, but Larry picks up a couple of diamonds.
With 2 overcards and a diamond draw, he's actually the favorite right now.
Clay hoping his hand holds up. He doesn't want to go home quite yet. We go to the turn card now. It's the ace of clubs.
Wow. That's a dagger in his heart. Now he's only got 2 dins left in the deck, or it's going to be the end of his day.
Larry's smiling like the cat that swallowed the canary, but we've seen that smile wiped off people's faces once the river card falls in the past.
1 card to go. The river card is the queen of clubs, so 2 pair for Larry. He's going to win the hand, and that is going to do it for Clay. He's going to leave us in 6th place, and he's going to go home with just over $8,000.
Not a bad payday, and he's showing a lot of good sportsmanship here, shaking everybody's hand.
Yum, yum.
You said you wanted to play it.
Right? The button's right?
Yeah. This is honestly going faster than I thought.
Yeah.
And with that, we're down to 5 players here in Vicksburg, all of whom would love to win the big prize. First place, $42,560.
In a little smaller market down in Mississippi, but it's a market we can build.
And the hospitality. I mean, where can you beat the hospitality in the South?
Can't do it.
Chan says, let's raise this up. We're going to go up to $25,000 now with his 6-5 of spades.
There's the Chan we know and love. Let's raise it up with 5-6.
And now Skyler on the button picks up pocket 7s.
I know you can hit him.
7s were good for you earlier, Mr. Williamson.
I think that was the only thing that happened good to me today.
Albie makes the call from the small blind with his king 4, and now Larry picks up pocket 10s.
You know, here with pocket 10s, it feels like a perfect spot for a squeeze. You might get paid off by somebody thinking you're making a squeeze play. I completely would have raised.
I agree with that. You want to limit your field also.
You must not have got dealt in.
Flop is ace, 7, deuce, couple of hearts.
Well, 3 7s for Skyler. Not a lot for anybody else, though. May have a problem getting a payday here.
Albie's going to check. Now over to Larry. He's going to check.
Yeah, I think with 4 players in this pot, I'm not going to get too aggressive with 2 10s in this spot because the original raiser could easily have an ace in his hand.
But why wouldn't Chan get aggressive? He's got 6-5. Why not? He's reaching for chips. He's going to bet $55,000.
Well, in his mind, he has a backdoor draw at all times, and this one, he's got some backdoors, but that's it.
Oh, Craig, what do you want Skyler to do here? He flopped a set. What's the strategy here?
Bet your sets. Bet your sets.
He didn't bet the set. He just makes the call.
Get a maximum payday the one time you run into another big hand. So I kind of have to agree with you there, especially with 2 hearts on the board. Last thing you want to see is another heart, and now you're really going to slow down. Well, unless it's the 7 of hearts.
Unless it's the 7 of hearts, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodness.
That's a miracle card.
Well, that's a horse of a different color.
Chan is first to act. He takes a drink from his giant water bottle. Now, what does Skyler bet here? Does he just check?
No. I think I would have to just check here. I don't know. Well, if you don't value bet, the one time you run into the ace with a heart, and Skyler does decide to value bet, probably I'm leaning more towards your direction now.
And Skyler does bet. He bets $80,000.
That might be the worst. That might be the worst. You had nothing, right? Tell me you had nothing, please.
I can beat nothing.
What'd you have, bud?
All of them. All of them.
Ooh.
I could beat nothing. What could he beat exactly? 5, 6? He could beat many hands.
No. And Chan gets more information on the table, but people do love to show the quads and the straight flushes. There's no question of that.
Skylar rakes in a pot with quad sevens, and we'll be back to see if Skylar can challenge Chan right after this. Welcome back to the HPT. Chip counts. Chan Pelton up top, and Skylar with his quad seven sneaks into second place with almost 750,000 in chips.
Chan is really playing great, but Skylar's also a really good player. Played a lot against both of these two guys. And the judge, not far behind either.
Blinds now 6,000, 12,000 with a 1K ante. It's James Larson, Robert Williamson III, and Craig Casino. Pocket six is there for Chan.
Well, that's like aces for most people. I mean, when Chan looks down and sees a pair, they just grow.
Chan's going to raise to 24,000 as Skylar gets out of the way, as does Elby. Action over to the short stack. Larry looks down at queen seven. Now over to Judge Leo. He's in the big blind, looking to defend his jack nine.
That's a pretty liberal defend, but you know, you are against Chan. Chan plays a lot of hands. You got to defend a lot of time.
Flop his ace-10 tray, couple of clubs.
Chan's into a little pot control here possibly, and plus he knows Judge Leo slow played aces on him a little bit earlier.
Both players check. Five of clubs now comes on the turn.
Well, that gives Leo and Chan a flush draw.
Leo checks. Action over to Chan now.
I don't want another club, sir.
Chan bets out here 33,000.
The bet is 33,000, and now Judge Leo is going to raise it up to 200K.
Love that move by Judge Leo.
You know, I think earlier, because of the way he played that ace-9, I think he's going to get some respect here, and Chan's going to make this lay down.
He wins.
And Chan does lay down the
These young aggressive players like Chan see the old guys raising into them. Guys like me, it scares them a little bit sometimes. They don't expect that play.
Why is Judge showing his cards again? It seems like we see this every other hand with the Judge. And you guys like that?
Not my preference. I've been playing with the Judge for 2 decades, and he doesn't show me his hand that often. I don't know how Chan's getting all these special favors today.
I never agree with showing a bluff. I never show a bluff, because you may not get called. It may not hurt you that tournament, but it may hurt you a month later or even a year later. Somebody's going to remember that play you made, and you're going to get called when you don't want to in the future.
And you're like me. You don't ever want to be called.
No.
I never, ever want to have to show my hand, because if you win them all right there, you don't have to worry about it.
Take the chips when you can get them.
Skylar raises to 28,000 with his 6-5. Judge Leo makes the call with Jack 10. We go to the flop, and look at that. Jack 10-6, just what the Judge ordered.
Yeah, well, Skylar got a little piece of this. It might get him a little trouble. Bottom pair.
Judge Leo checks his 2 pair. Skylar checks behind him. We go to the turn card now. And that turn card is the ace of diamonds.
Well, that's the only problem with Leo checking that to begin with. Judge decides to fire here. But that ace is kind of a dangerous card.
More or less than one of these days.
Judge Leo bets 75,000. Skylar is going to fold. A little smile there by Judge Leo. Of course, he's got to show everybody his hand. The Judge is making his move, and we'll see if he can continue his ascension when we return right after these words on the HPT. We're back at the Ameristar in Vicksburg, Mississippi at the HPT final table. James Larson, Robert Williamson III, and Craig Casino. Chip counts, Robbie.
Chan Pelton still on top of our chip count leaderboard. I'll tell you what, if the other players keep showing him their cards, he could stay on top.
The action continues here from Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg up top, just over $42,000. LB gets out of the way. Action on Larry. Larry's still nursing that short stack. He's going to fold. Now over to Leo. Judge Leo looks down at 8 of hearts, 7 of clubs.
Well, another very liberal raise from the Judge.
8-7, why not? He's got his buddy to his left, going to raise it to 26,000.
Supposed to be 30.
Huh?
It was supposed to be 30.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It was 30.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm supposed to do, babe?
No. I knew you meant it.
Yeah, it is. It's a good raise.
I mean, it's illegal. Huh?
It's legal, right?
I'm going to be legal. Not overly legal, but semi-legal.
Chan's making plans for later in the hand. There's no question of that. Of course, he hopes to hit the flop, but if he doesn't, I don't see that slowing him down any.
Chan's going to make the call.
Semi-float pre-flop.
Good way to look at that.
The bet of 26,000.
Chan makes the call with his queen tray of diamonds. Skylar gets out of the way.
And the judge. Let's see
Two
if
best
Lawson-
friends in the middle of a hand here. They love to talk. One likes to show his cards. King 4 tray. It's a rainbow.
Well, bottom pair for Chan.
He checks to the judge.
Both players checking that flop. Now we go to the turn card. Turn card is the queen of spades.
Two
So
pair for Chan. Now he's got to check. Give the judge a little rope. You know what they say about judges? Hanging judges. Give him a little rope. Let him hang himself.
that is a bet by Judge Leo. He's going to bet 60,000 chips. And here comes the raise, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a feeler bet. Judge is just trying to figure out if Chan's for real, and he's about to find out that he is.
And that is the raise we were all expecting to 140,000. Judge Leo's going to fold, and why wouldn't you show your cards to your opponent, especially when it's 8-7?
You know, it's one thing to show your hand, but showing bluffs, I'm so much like you, Craig. That's a terrible, terrible play, especially you're just encouraging your opponent like Chan.
Are these guys related? Over $42,000 up top for our champion. They'll go home with the bracelet and the bragging rights right here on the HPT as we broadcast from the Ameristar Casino Hotel Vicksburg. Action is on our short stack. Larry's going to fold his hand. Judge Leo gets out of the way with a smile. He's either talking, smiling. He's just loving life, right? Or showing his cards. Yeah, exactly. Action over to Chan. Chan's just usually gambling, betting, putting chips in the middle. He's going to do just that. He's going to raise to 29,000 with his king tray.
29,000 is the bet.
Well, Chan's liberal raising range is getting more liberal as the match progresses here.
Action now on Elby. Haven't seen a whole lot out of Elby tonight.
Or Larry.
Yeah, both of them fairly tight players.
Something to be said, though, about sitting back and just moving your way up that pay ladder, though.
Yeah, I wish I'd done a little more of that.
Right, yeah, I kind of thought you'd go a little deeper, my friend, but we'll get to that later. Jack 10-6 is the flop, couple of spades.
Jack of clubs.
Little piece for Elby, flopping second pair.
Elby's going to check. Over to Chan. Chan, as we have seen all night, he doesn't need a hand to bet.
Checking to Chan's like waving a red flag in front of a bull.
You might as well just check out at that point and put your cards in the middle. 34,000 is the bet by Chan.
But I suspect we'll still see a call here from Elby.
Talked about this before. Elby's a contract welder from Mississippi. Plays mostly cash games. He does make the call. We go to the turn card. It's the 6 of hearts.
That 6 is going to scare Chan, possibly. Because Elby's in the big blind. He could easily have that card in his hand.
Nothing scares Chan, Mr. Casino. Nothing scares this guy. And Elby checks over to him. So Chan's going to reach for chips. He's going to bet 70,000.
When you see the same person dragging pot after pot, sometimes you start to see ghosts, you know, somewhere in the woods. I think Elby, no, he does make the call. I thought he might lay that down right there.
A lot of credit to Elby for making that call. A lot of players, a lot of amateur players are worried if there's just one overcard on the board. There's the ace of clubs.
Well, that makes 2 overcards on the board now.
That might change things. Might change things for Chan also.
I think it's a really good card for Chan because now if he continues this facade,
he can't win if he doesn't bet.
Right, and maybe Elby's going to put him on the fact that he had an ace the entire time and get him to lay this hand down. Chan's going to bet 140,000.
Well, when you triple barrel like that, it's really hard with a hand like Elby's to make this call. I don't make this call. I mean, obviously we can see he has the best hand, but I don't think I can make this call. What do you think?
Me either. I would be laying it down right here. And Elby does. He lays it down.
Chan takes it down.
I withheld the rest of my comment because I realized that sometimes it's a prelude to a re-raise. What? When they don't.
And you got to give credit where credit is due. And Chan bluffs his way to another pot, and again, he doesn't show his cards, unlike his pal, Judge Leo. Well, that's all the time we have, and I got to ask my 2 favorite co-hosts here, 2 of the best in the business. What did you think of the poker at tonight's final table?
I thought Chan Pelton put on a clinic, a pure clinic. He got information for free from all of his opponents without giving them any information back.
Chan did really well. He showed what it takes to win a poker tournament. In a lot of cases, that means aggression. If everybody played the same way, the game would be pretty boring. But everybody played well, and it was a good night of poker in Mississippi.
And Robert finally made an HPT final table. Unfortunately, no better than 7th place, but he'll try again at another event. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on the HPT.